Books, banter, and a bit of chaos. Welcome to Unhinged Bookish Thoughts.
The podcast with unfiltered opinions, hilarious tangents, and way too many TBR editions. If you've ever sent an unhinged voice memo to your book bestie,
you're in the right place. Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Bookish Thoughts with Liz and Carrie. Today, it's our Thanksgiving episode.
Yay!
Woo!
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Liz had curated quite the list of Thanksgiving reads for us. I wish I could say I got further along in them, but I did not. You soared. You flew high, and it was rough.
I learned that novellas work really well for me. That's what I learned in November, that novellas work very well for me. I think I've done like one full-length book, and it took me like 4 days to get through it. And I'm like, oh, give me a short novella, please. Especially like an audiobook, short novella, or like a KU with narration. I was flying.
You were.
I think my KU says I have 20 books that I've read this month.
Yeah. It's
all been
month.
KU. It's all because it's novellas. I love novellas. I wouldn't say that. I was trying to do one a day, and I can't remember her name right now off the top of my head. Blame me being sick. My brain's like not functioning. But she does novella. I've been following her for a while now. So she did novella November last year, and I wanted to do it this year. And I was trying to keep pace at 30 for the month. I'm not at 30 or 24, whatever it is. But it's fine. I also had surgery this month, so we'll blame it on that.
And I read 4. Woo! Yeah. What's the first Thanksgiving buddy read that we did?
Sharing her pie.
Sharing
her holiday pie.
That's so real. Yeah. And that one, believe it or not, out of all the ones we did buddy read, not the worst.
Did we buddy read 2 of them? Out of just the holiday one. We read one other one. But I think just out of the holiday ones. Yeah, the other one was worse.
Yeah.
If we had to pick between this one and Basted, I would pick Sharing Her Holiday Pie.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess spoiler alert, we're not going to try and spoil anything, but Sharing Her Pie was like a coming home for the holidays type of vibe. And lots of coming at the home for the holidays. And it really escalated quickly. Would you agree?
Yes.
Like, I felt like there was supposed to be backstory on her attraction to these brothers, but they were just fucking.
They're just there. This was the story that prompted my mind saying, how does that conversation start? Okay. Now, these are 2 brothers. So how does the conversation between these 2 brothers go, you know what? I really would like to share women with you.
Yeah.
No. And then there was another one I read this month that did the same thing. And I'm like, because there were 2 teammates. And I went, how did that conversation start? Where they were like, let's bang women together.
The teammate thing, though, I'm like, that's kind of hot. Because it's
but
they want to win
how do you start
together.
that conversation?
That's true. Are they just at a Perkins?
I've never been on a sport where they were like, hey, you know what? I really like to share women. What about you? And they're like, me too. Because think about if they would have that conversation with like the most random person. And like, let's just say they're like, hey, I like to share women. Ew. What's wrong with you? It's such like a trust thing. Like, how did you know that guy wanted to share people? But that's like the same thing with this. Like, how did you know your brother likes to share women?
Yeah.
What made you? I don't know. My only note on this one, it says way too many pie references in 25 pages.
No, literally so many pie references. Again, these are books that we're just reading for fun. Don't.
Yes. These were KU reads. Okay. Some were very serious, like more like sweet kind of style. But like we said on the post, it says sweet to spicy because there's some that are definitely in the realm of unhinged KU smut. And then there's some that are just like Thanksgiving themed stories, right?
Yeah.
This one is Sharing Her Holiday Pie is in the unhinged smut section.
And it's really
wild.
It's like, it's not the type of unhinged like when we talk about Basted. It's
Yes.
more just like that 0 to 100 spice and
Yes.
lots of holiday puns.
Tons of them.
It's not really like a sentient
No.
type of Unhinged.
No.
But
No.
don't worry. We'll talk about that.
Don't worry. No, this one was I I think this one could have benefited from more pages because you could have gotten more understanding of like why, like where this attraction happened. It was just like she showed up to Thanksgiving. The two brothers were there. She talked about how they were because they're the neighbors' kids. Like they were friends and then they stopped being friends because these two guys got hot.
Mhm.
But yet she's also supposed to be hot. So I was like, I don't understand how
And they
they
were
got
like,
hotter.
"Don't worry, we've noticed
Yes,
her
yes.
getting hot."
I'm like,
A
okay, but
and
you
then
ignored her all through school. What?
yeah, and then all the family, like, leaves to go do
Mhm.
something, and they're like, "No, we're gonna stay because she's gonna let us eat her pie or something."
Yeah, we're gonna have
Like,
some pumpkin pie. Yeah,
dead
we're
ass,
gonna
that's
eat
what
pie.
they say to everybody as they're leaving. Like, the most obvious.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Like,
so th
if you were the parent, would you be like, "What are you gonna do? What
yeah,
freaky things are gonna get into while I'm gone?
I would be like, "Get in the goddamn car.
Get in the car. We're going on this hike or whatever
Don't
they
even
went on." I'm like,
fucking try."
"No, stop."
That's what it was. They, like, ate and then went on a hike.
Yeah, they're weird.
Um,
That must be a thing because the book I read last night, which is gonna be for the Christmas one, this couple, it's Christmas Eve, and they went on a hike and then went for dinner, and I'm like, why are these people all going on hikes? I don't understand. Am I just not that active that I'm like, ew, why are you hiking? Like,
yeah.
no, I'm good. Like the thought about eating all that Thanksgiving food and then going on a hike,
I will throw
no.
up.
I will vomit. Not happening.
So essentially, they all go upstairs and start fucking. I will say this book had so much lubricant involved,
Yes.
which I think I don't give this book credit enough for that because normally when you're reading books, the
Yeah.
female is just soaked, drenched all the time.
Dripping on the floor.
Really never any talks of like additional help of lubricant for her to take these like mammoth dongs. But
Behemoths.
I do really love that they were like, we used gallons of lube,
Gallons of lube. Yes.
and it
I
was a lot.
it was so much lube. This made me really realize that I am not a double vaginal penetration person. I'm like, I don't know. I'm good.
Are they brothers or are they stepbrothers?
They're brothers,
Yeah.
which
So
means
I think about that. I did think about that because they
no.
were that also, can we talk about okay, we have to talk about this. Because this part I think we did mention. They were like, "We're not gonna do it in the back tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it easy on you." And instead, they DP
Two in
her.
one hole? No, like,
"We're gonna take it
no.
easy on you."
We're gonna take it easy, so we're gonna just put him right in there. And I'm like, no.
0
No, like,
judgment for
let's
that.
yeah, no, that's just not my thing, but also I'm like, you were talking about taking it easy on her and then
Yeah.
did that, which is not I feel like you have to, like, more work up to it, and so I'm like, I don't wouldn't it have been easier just to put one in each hole?
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
confused. Or, like,
Yeah.
take turns.
And, like, being
If
brothers, you're, like, getting each other off a little bit.
yeah, that's how I was like, no.
I don't know if I wanna keep that in.
But, like, yes, they would be that was I think that's also what made me go, to it, and again, we're not trying to ick anybody's yum. This is just our
Mm.
preference, so we're having, like, full conversations about how we felt while we were reading this. I did not like that they were brothers, and they had their schlongs.
Yeah.
Did not like that. That was like,
In the moment,
no.
I don't think I, like, really was like, "Whoa, this is a little weird," but after you read it and you reflect on the
Then you're
40
like
minutes it took you to read, you're just kind of like, "I made some choices this evening."
that was a choice. That was a choice. And
So,
it was okay.
Out of 5 turkeys, how many gobbles do you give this book? How many sweet pies do you give
How
this?
many pumpkin pies would you give this? Like 3 maybe? It's probably like a 2 or a 3 for me, only because I'm not a DVP person. And I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. And I was more expecting like DP, where they share her in that way. I wasn't expecting, 2 in 1 pie. I was expecting 2 separate pies.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh god."
Yeah.
These are the conversations we
Uh,
have. This is our life now, okay?
I oddly enough, I think would still give it a 4.
Mhm.
I think actually if it was like they were stepbrothers, that would
Yeah.
alleviate some of the awkwardness.
Yes, and I think
Um,
that makes a lot of sense between you and I don't
mhm,
like, even if it's like a step sibling, that's not my thing. You, however, like that type of stories. It's not for me. So that's most likely why my rating's lower
sure.
versus yours, because you can, like, switch it in your head where they're step siblings versus full blood. So and me, I'm
But
like,
either way, you're still
"No,
like, I'm not into that. Yeah.
no."
No, I it was fun.
Mhm.
It was kind of fun. People
Do I think everyone should experience it? Yeah, probably. That's how I feel about all of these books. You should
yeah.
experience it,
I
because I
love
had
when
to.
I don't know how to commit to my ratings, and I'm like, "Did I
Yeah.
love it? No. Would I read it again? Also no, but I'm giving it 4 stars."
But it's still worth the read, yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was fun.
it was enjoyable at the time.
Compared to what let's talk about Based It.
I don't know. Oh god, this is so bad. It's okay, when I say that it was bad, it's not bad in the sense that the story is bad. It was a lot. Like,
It this one the descriptors and the details were
yeah.
made us uncomfy.
Yes. Let me introduce the story because I came up with something I thought was hilarious.
Please, set the tone.
So here is the introduction that I came up with. You want to spice up your relationship with your long-term boyfriend, so you dress up as a turkey, only to find your boyfriend stuffing the hostess. And after she finishes on his drumstick, you enjoy a feast of your own. I was like, yeah, that perfectly explains it. Yep.
That
I
does.
want to add before we get started so you understand where we're coming from on this. This is only like what, 80 some pages maybe,
Yes.
I think. Juices was used 118 times in 80 pages.
I
Okay?
had I had to take 2 breaks reading 80
It was
pages.
it was a lot. It was a lot. Mine just says that was a struggle. It was a
Yeah.
struggle. I think there is a we read a lot of sentient
Mhm.
romances. This was probably the hardest one to get through.
It's just like the sheer detail and like the juices part of it that
Yeah.
I really struggled with because it takes
It
a
was
lot
so
to kind
hard.
of gross us
Ick us
out.
out. Yeah, yeah.
But when you have this one thing that continues to kind of persist, that's when you're kind of like, "Okay,
Yeah. They
shit."
Based it is about sentient turkey basters. 3 of them.
And she kept squirting it into her breasts and, like, letting it and I even made a note, I was like, "Could you imagine the fucking acne that I would have all over my body if I was squirting, like, grease and gravy across my
Everywhere.
body?" And she
And
was
it
getting
wasn't
aroused by it.
yes. And that I think was like I was thinking like the large basters, right? Like, because they're in a restaurant. And so I was thinking like the really long, like thick, yeah, thick. Another episode of Carrie. Doing
Clip
the
that
hand
for the
motion.
next one.
Woo! Yeah.
I was
So
thinking, like, big basters too.
yeah, it's like big basters. And then she's like shoving the whole thing down her
Sucking.
throat and still sucking it down. And
And she's sucking it.
I was like, how if it's like that long, I don't like where is it going in your throat, ma'am?
It's like a sword
Because like
swallower. She
but
really
still like
relaxes.
squirting it into her like I was like, I don't understand the mechanics of this because even if you don't, like, you're still like squirting liquid and it's like going down. Like, how easy would it have been for her to aspirate that? I'm sorry. She was gonna like die from aspirating turkey juices.
Yeah. I know we always say don't take this too seriously, but this one was just really
It
hard
was I
to.
mean, the things we've read, and I'm like, this one is the most out there I think I can get in. I'm like, no, there was not a moment in time when I was enjoying myself in this read
Yeah.
because it was just so like, again, juices 118 times.
Yeah.
She was squirting it all over herself. Also, think about the mess that the kitchen was after she
Yeah.
was done. Like,
And then it started talking to her at one point while she was
I know.
squirting it. And it,
And then like they kept then like another one came in, and then there was another one, and
it
I was
was a
like,
wide choose of turkey basters.
they were all siblings too.
And I'm just sitting here like we really did spend an
It was like
evening.
it took a while for us to get through it because it was so rough. Just like I don't
And before anybody's
know.
rude and being like, "Well, why didn't you DNF it?" We really do just read these for fun. We're not running
Yeah.
up to Goodreads or Amazon and rating these.
No.
These
No.
are simply for the experience, and honestly, you might read it and be like, "Hell yeah, this was good."
Yes.
And that's what Liz meant by, "You guys just
Yeah.
need to experience it."
Yes. Do I think other people need to read this? Yes, because I need to know what other people think about it.
Yeah, let's
But
talk about it.
it's like, no, it just wasn't. I don't know. And then at the end, like, I didn't like how it ended. I thought that was like, I understand that, like, the sentient beings, I don't know. It was just weird. Like, every single time, like, she pretty much orgasmed, it gave them more life. And I was like, what? It was like, okay, remember in Halloween? And, like, every single time she came, it, like, took a piece of the the sucker away.
Yep.
It felt like that, but, like, I never really understood what they turned into. I'm like, did they actually become
At
people?
at that point, I had given up all hope of understanding what the
I was
fuck
like,
was
I don't
going on.
understand what's happening. This, you know what? There's a lot of these that feel like stories, right? This one felt like it should have stayed on AO3.
Yeah,
This one shouldn't have escaped fanfic.
I
Like,
I I agree.
Wattpad?
I wanna look this up and see, like, what were the ratings on Basted?
I don't know. I didn't look it up either. It was definitely a struggle for us. It wasn't something that
Ugh. Should I
I
get
think
us t-shirts that just say "Basted" on them?
I'll do it. I'll do it in embroidery. It'll just come and it'll be nice and fancy.
Basted. Here it is.
Basted.
You know?
It's just not for us.
69 pages.
It was only 69. It went 118 times in 69 pages.
69.
You had to like try to get 69 pages. That was like that took
It's
effort.
got a
So
It does have a 4.2 out of 5 on Amazon.
no, it's fine. I mean, again, there are people that are probably going to love this because it is a wide choose. It's got, I would say, a breeding kink to it. So
Yeah, breeding kink, like a food kink a little bit for the people out there that
yeah.
are into food kinking.
Oh my god, I just realized something. Okay, so the basters are their wieners. Okay, full stop. They are their wieners. Somehow they also talk through their wieners. But listen, at the
Yeah.
end, they I think only one, I think the primary dom one was turning into a person, like an actual being, a physical form, but the one never did. So he stayed a baster, and that's what they use as a plug. But listen, if he actually turned into a person, it would just be him with his dong just sitting in there. That's it. And I'm like, what is this like? Are we trying to not? Because this is not what is happening here? Because this is weird. It was not something for us. It was a good attempt. I mean, we
was.
tried.
We did
We
try.
tried. We did make it.
I'm thankful for the experience.
Yes. To know that
Again.
not all sentient are for us.
Correct. Because surprisingly enough, the last few sentients we've really
I've been down.
enjoyed. I think
Yeah.
maybe it's just the turkey thing. Like
Probably.
I
The
think
food.
it's the food is really
food.
my
Yeah.
because it is going
Because
to
we've
be.
read other food ones, and it wasn't like this. This had a very heavy focus on, like, food.
Yeah.
Like, and between her, like, scarfing down the food and, like, binging on it, to
Yeah.
then, like, having it coating her whole body.
Yeah.
And it was, like, a point for them to, like, make her glisten with their juices. And that was not. No.
I think maybe if the basters were more like people, like you said,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
more human, I
yeah,
could have like separated the food part a little bit and
yeah.
just been like, "That's their cum." But I just really could not
Yes.
think about anything else.
But think about that if it was their cum. That was a lot.
So much.
And, like, she talked about how it filled her stomach.
I can't do it. I can't do this
No.
anymore.
Okay, so I think that was the end of, like, our buddy reads. So the next ones are
Mhm,
gonna be ones that I read.
mhm,
So I did have 3 DNFs, and I will go over those, I think, last, just because they were just more me. They weren't the actual, like, story. I would encourage people to read them, but they were very much just not for me. So I'll go over Stuffed next, and there are so many books for Thanksgiving called Stuffed. There's, like,
a
1.5 million
ton.
of them. There are so many of them. So I can't remember the author's name for this one, but it was an orange cover with a turkey on it, and it is
Mhm.
an MMF romance. It's not that many pages, it's super short, but the premise is she is her favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, and so she's making a huge spread, and her brother's hockey team actually has a home game this year for Thanksgiving, and so she's feeding the entire team, or, like, a couple of them. His best buddies are coming over, they're all hanging out, but there's these 2 guys. So, there's these 2 guys that keep eyeing her, and she's just like, okay, they're really hot, but I'm gonna focus on, like, making Thanksgiving. And so she continues, and then they're gonna stay the night. There's a couple people that are staying the night because they have a game the next day. And so these 2 men are staying in the pool house. So the brother takes the one outside, and the other just disappears, ends up behind her and starts to play with her while she's trying to do the dishes. And her brother is in viewing range. And then they end up back in the pool house, all 3 of them. The one is a dom, and then the both 2 are submissive, and they all get together. It is super short. I would say it was bad. My notes on it say, "Brothers teammates." So if you like the brother's best friend kind of vibe,
Mhm,
definitely for you.
mhm.
Quick and spicy. It was very spicy. Like, definitely most of these are more spice than plot. It was very forgettable, though. I had to remember what this book was about. Was like, "Was that the one with the chick and the 2 dudes?"
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
tough
think
too
so.
when you're, like, coming off of, like, traumatic
Yeah,
reads.
very much so. Well, I think the weirdest part was that she put on, like, lingerie, and it's November. In my mind, all weather in November is like it is in Ohio, probably the same as in South Dakota. It's cold, right? I am not running across my backyard in the cold in a nightie, like, in just pretty much my bra and undies for anyone. I don't care. I don't care if the hottest man that's ever existed is in there. Hottest woman ever existed is in that. No, I'm not doing it. It's cold. I would be way too cold. I'm not doing it. And so she, like, ran across the yard. Well, people are in her house that could easily see her. And then they had to get her back in the house afterwards. I'm like, okay, you also have a game tomorrow. You're not sleeping? No? That was like my thought. I'm like, no? Okay.
I love
But I
that
mean,
you're,
like,
like, worried about their schedule.
if
God
someone's
damn
gonna
it,
see you,
guys.
you're like trying to hide this. You're not doing a very good hiding it. You're running across the yard practically naked. You're like, oh, my brother, I can't have my brother see me. You're naked running through the yard, woman. But it was very much like she was into BDSM, and so were they, and it was like light BDSM. I can't remember like if it was that heavy into it, but she was like, "Oh yeah, oh that's how they met." They I see this. Again, very forgettable. They went to a Halloween party, and they were there, and they were like, "Oh," like looking at her like. And she's like, "Oh, they can't be interested in me." And then she goes into like this other room, and it's a BDSM room.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, "What party are you at that these 2 dudes," like, I think in my mind, it was a sex club, and
Yeah.
so, like, they were all there, and so she specifically went to go to the BDSM section, and they, like, watched her, and that's how the whole thing started, and then it got kinky and whatnot. You know how it works. But, again, very forgettable, like, very. Um, I liked this one 'cause I like my notes on it. So the next one I read these aren't in order. Um, I'm going through the spicy ones first, and then I'm doing, like, the sweeter ones, and then I'll do my DNFs. So, one night on Thanksgiving, my only note on this says, "Clearly a fey trap," which I'm, like, reading it. So this chick is at the bar, I forget, I think she just got dumped or something, and she's, like, on a business trip. She's at the bar. She sees these 2 really hot guys. She's like, "You know what? I'm gonna be brave." And so she sends them a drink because they were, like, eyeing each other across the bar, like, "Hello." So she sends them a drink, and they are like, "Hey," they come over, talk to her, and things escalate very quickly. They're like, "You wanna come back to the penthouse with us?" She's like, "Yes." Now one is very, like, slender and, like, I don't know why I thought of Carden from The Girlfriends.
Okay.
That was my immediate thought, but, like, still kinda muscular,
Mhm.
And then the other guy acts as if he's a bodyguard to the skinnier one. So, very tall, very, like, CrossFit, I would say, kinda body type, and then the other one is, like, a football player, like, think of a lineman. Like, he's very broad, he's very dom, but he also can, like, read minds or something? I don't know, I never really got like, he knew her name without her ever telling him. He knew all about her without anyone saying anything to her, so he just, like, knew these things. I was like, "Yeah, 'cause he's a fae." I know. I see a fae when I see it, okay? I see it. And so they got in the elevator to get up to the penthouse, and the skinnier one and her can't keep their hands off of each other. And so they just started, like, going at it, and the other guy's like, "Not here. Not now." "What, sir?" "It's not time yet." So they pretty much just edge her the entire time. And then this is the funniest part, okay? They this is where my mind would have just yeeted out of here. They are like they get her all, like, worked up and ready to go, right? And they go to the bedroom, and when they open the doors, they're not in a hotel anymore.
They're in Terracin.
They somehow it's like she like, leaves and, like, grass are all over the floor. Like, there's a tree, and they're in a fey realm. Like, they walk through the doors into a fey realm. Like like, "Ma'am, did you think you were on acid or something? I'm confused."
Was she
And
like,
so then
"Wow, this is
well,
amazing."
she apparently horniness blinded her entirely. And so they bang her on a rock multiple times,
As you should.
and
Nice and comfy.
it was like, "This is a rock, what are you doing?" They, like, don't like, I think she comes, but they don't, and because the dom's like, "Not yet again." "What are you doing? Why?" And then they, like, go and bathe in the stream, and then they come back to the rock, and they start doing it again. And,
Could they
like,
have not
she's like
chosen, like, a softer surface, like a meadow?
I don't know, and that's, like, the weirdest part, like, why on a rock? Like, apparently this was, like, a sacrificial like, it was a d
What?
dais, right? Like, they had to be on this rock in order to, like, bless the land? I don't know. But she's, like, laying there getting banged by these 2 dudes, right? And, like, this tree is above them, and it just starts, like, dropping leaves on her, and she's like, felt so good." Like, somehow the leaves were also, like, orgasmic? I don't know. But then the dom's like, "Now."
I hope in the shot of editing, it just gets closer and closer to my face as you're describing this, and I'm just like
But, like, as soon as those doors would open, I'd be like, "I don't care how horny or hot you 2 are, I am not going into a Fey realm.
I
That's not
am.
happening." I saw this one video recently that was like, "As a reminder, if you ever see a portal to the Fey realm and get trapped in it, there is a rule. If you eat their food, you are stuck. So take advantage of it and eat all their food. I'm stuck now."
Like,
Yeet.
that's me into the part.
But she kept saying, like, "Are you guys, like, Fey princes or something?" And in my mind, they weren't Fey princes, like, they both weren't, like, he was like, the skinny one was the Fey prince, because again, all I saw was Carden in my head. And then the other guy was just, like, his bodyguard, and I can't remember what character in my mind I saw him as, but he was straight up just, like, a bodyguard in my mind, but apparently he was a Fey prince. I don't know. But that's how, like they replenish their land is by finding a human and banging her on a rock.
Replenishing the land.
I was like,
Wow.
"What?" They have to, because it's like, that's how they ensure that the land is fertile,
I don't love
is they
that.
find a human and bang her on a rock.
I do not love that. I do
I mean,
not
it
like.
wasn't bad, but it was also, like it
So
was different. I will give them that. It was very different. I was not expecting because it says it was a one-night stand. I was expecting just, like, meeting at the bar on Thanksgiving, something simple like that, but the twist of them being fae was kind of funny to me. I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
well, that was unique." Violent sneezes.
Anyway, so but, sometimes that's kind of fun though because
Yeah.
a lot of these ones, they end up just being, like you said, more, like, spice versus plot, but, like, even Unhinged, they kinda had, like, a little fun little thriller
Yeah.
vibe to it, so I kinda like that this had a
It had a
little
little bit
more.
it had, like, a weird, like, mix of fantasy in it, and I was like, "It's not bad." Like,
Yeah.
it was worth it. It was really short, so it was
Yeah.
not bad at all.
So how many
Um,
gobbles do you give that one?
like 3.5, maybe 4, because
I
it was
probably would've given it
entertaining.
a 5.
Probably. And it had the DP, not DVP, so I was fine with it.
Weren't
I'm okay
brothers.
with the separate pies. I'm not okay with the combined pies. I like 2 pies,
We
not
gotta
1
stop
pie.
saying pies because people are gonna think we're talking cream pies, and
Oh god. The one I read last night talked about cream pies. And I was just like, "Can we not use that term anymore, please, and thank
we'll s
you?"
we'll save that for the Christmas episode.
Yes. Okay, so the next 2 are sweet. I'm gonna go with my number 2 on the sweet list, and then I'll go with my number 1. So, my number 2 sweet one is called A Dragon for Thanksgiving. It was very cute. I wasn't expecting such a heavy family line to it. So, essentially, you have this black sheep dragon shifter who his dad like runs a fighting pit. And the reason he's the black sheep is because he looks different than everybody else. So he's a dragon that looks more like dinosaurs versus like a dragon. Like he went back to more of like the primary evolution state versus what they've evolved into. So his dad like didn't want him because he looked like a dinosaur dragon. But he was a really good fighter because he's more agile than everybody else because he can like use different parts of his body that the other ones can't. Then you have this human who somehow is able to cross into like this shifter world. I didn't understand that. But they have instead of like think of it as like Fight Club, but with dragon shifters.
Mhm.
So she needs money. They're poor. And she's really hard up on it. Like she's like, I need to get money so we can pay like rent and stuff. And so she took a gamble, crossed over into the shifter fighting realm. And it's like not a realm, like they're all like it's just kind of that world, but it's like the bad part of town, right? Like it's the black market kind of area. Like, don't go over there. They're the bad people. And so she went over there. Also, it's like horse racing, okay? So you have to place bets on certain fighters. And so she's like, oh, I really I like that one. There's just something about him that I really like. Hmm. And so she bets on this guy, and the odds are like extreme, like 1 in 1,000, like he's gonna win. He wins. And so she gets a shit ton of money from it because she bet on him. And she then ends up like she's in like the bad part of town, right? And so then like the succubus, or I don't even know what it is, the siren tries to like take her and is like coaxing her to like out of the shadows and like trying to abduct her. And the dragon boy comes in and saves her. And she's like, thank you so much, sir. And then they like part, and he can't stop thinking about her. She can't stop thinking about him. And so, but she needs more money. She's like, one more bet, and I will be set for life. I won't ever have to bet again because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bet on this dragon boy again. So she goes and does it again. But in the meantime, like Dragon Boy and his sister are like trying to like make this into a career kind of thing. Because his dad's like, you could be in my ring, but don't embarrass me, kind of thing. Like his dad's a man whore. So he has like all these different kids. And so his sister's also like a dragon shifter, but I don't know. She looks different. I don't. Oh, she looks human because her mom's human and her dad's a dragon. But when she shifts, she's like a little miniature dragon. Like she doesn't change size. So when she shifts, she's just like a person-sized dragon. And I just thought of like, I don't know. I thought of Ariel. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was thinking like a 5-foot person shifting into a dragon. And just staying that size. Well, all these other dragons are like dragons kind of thing. Like think of Andarna and Tarn.
Mhm.
That's what I thought. But that was them like in their shifted forms.
Oh my god.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And so the focus was like really heavy on the family because they needed the humans' help to like because his sister was in well-known face, like, everyone knows who she is. So, they all wore masks, so no one knew who they were, but they couldn't do certain things. They needed an unsuspecting person that, like, didn't know what was really going on, like, behind the scenes, all these things. So, they hired the human to help them because she needed money. They knew she did, and so he's like, "Yeah, like, you can just come help us." And his sister's like, "Why do you want her to help us?" And he's like, "No reason. No reason at all." And so they like I thought that the family was great. She was really sweet. He didn't know how to stand up for himself. She was very much learning her voice, and so she ended up being like this asset for them, especially with his dad, because she like learned that his dad's like a manipulative dick. And he was trying to make him throw a fight so that they could impress his brother's fiance's family or something. It made no sense. Okay. 0 sense. And then she's like, "Why would you do that? Like, it's gonna come out that he's your son. Like, eventually people are gonna find out this is your son. And so you want him to lose to people who would then think that they can overpower you because your son's weak?" And his he's like, "Oh," like, the son's like, "Oh, that's not gonna work." His dad's like, I like the way you think, ma'am." It's like, what is happening here? And like he goes to Thanksgiving with her, and then his dad's like, "You be nice to my," or her dad is like, "You be nice to my daughter." And I was like, "Sir, you're trying to threaten a dragon shifter. What is happening here?" So it was good. It was very cute. It was very sweet. There's no spice in this. Well, there is, but it's like closed door spice. So like,
Right.
oh, and he touched me kind of thing. But the family was very like heavy, like found family. And I don't know why I wasn't expecting that in such a short book. I mean, it was like 100 and some pages, but like cute story, cute premise. It was just like, I don't know. I go into so many books blind, but I was like, this is like a weird story. Like
It wasn't
her
what you were expecting,
no,
for
like, her
sure.
being such, like, an asset in a world she doesn't know, and then, like, they have to, like, protect her because she's a human, so she is susceptible to everything. So, like, during the fight, they're trying to, like, get him to, like, lose, like, to distract him, and so they have a vampire, like, trying to, like, coerce her, and I'm like but she's, like, shielded by a witch, and I was like, "What is happening here? There's
It's like
succubuses."
Halloween Town meets
It's
fucking
yes.
s
Yes. Yes.
meets Fast and Furious family.
Yes. Well, and she had been obviously, she had only been there a couple times, but she was, like, making friends with the, like, succubus that runs it, and so they're, like, friends, and then the, succubus finds out that this vampire is, like, trying to attack her and, like, kill her, and so the succubus comes in and, like, beats the shit out of a vampire all of a sudden. I was like she's like, "I don't tolerate that in my fighting ring." And I was like, "I thought it was her dad, like, his dad's fighting ring." I'm so confused. What is happening? I don't know. But it was very cute. This is a whole series. Like, this is a whole thing. Like, they have Christmas ones. There's a ton of them.
So
So,
if that was your number 2, what was your number 1?
for cuteness, it's called Falling for You. It's by, her first name's Marissa. I can't remember her last name. Marissa James, I think. It was so damn cute. Like,
Yeah.
I was smiling the entire time. It is so cute. So, I really loved this one. Setup was cute. There was good tension. It was sweet. I like that she stood up for herself and the things that she wanted. So, this is a second chance romance. So, girl gets divorced, kind of down on herself. Her ex, his name was Chad. That
Mhm.
explains who he is right there. His name was Chad. He was a dick. And so she just got divorced. She's living with this friend. Like, she wanted to move. And so she, like, her job had this, like, opportunity to move. And so she moved to this new facility. I'm like, I don't even know what she did. I couldn't even tell you what she did. But she moved to this new office. She needed to get a place to live. So one of her coworkers like, "Hey, I have this friend who's looking for a roommate." And so she moved in with this complete stranger, but ends up being like best friends with her. Um, they had a weird pet, and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was like a hamster, but this doesn't sound right. A gerbil, maybe? I don't know. There was an animal, and I can't remember what it was, but it was funny at the time when I was reading that. I was like, this is weird. Um, so she moves this whole thing. She doesn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving because like her parents are doing something else. Oh, parents are going on a cruise, maybe? And so she goes home with her best friend, her roommate, home. And because her roommate's like, no one's gonna be home. My brothers aren't gonna be there. You know, it's just me. Well, it turns out her brothers are gonna be there. Her one brother is a famous musician. And I'm like, you've been living with this chick for a year. You didn't know that her brother was a famous musician? Like, huge. Like, she like watched you. Oh my God, your brother's him. How did you not know? Did you not know? And then she goes and like is trying to go upstairs to like her room, and she runs into a wall, is how she describes it. And it's this guy. I can't remember their names, but she runs into it and she's like, oh, that's not a wall. That's a full grown man that I just ran into, like hard pecked man. And she realizes, and he realized at that moment, that they went to college together. And the story went that they were supposed to go on a date, but a hurricane hit. And obviously they couldn't go on a date. And then they both just kind of like let it fall. They never followed up, but they were obsessed with each other. They're like, why did we not go on a date? And so he's like, she's here now. Like, I gotta do something about it. Like, I was obsessed with this chick. Like, I could have seen myself marrying her. And I can't, like, this is the opportunity. Like, why is she here? Why otherwise would she be here? And so they go after it. But he has his own company and he works really long hours. Like, he's a like programmer, I would call it. Like, he owns his own tech company and it's getting really big. He needs to hire people on. His best friend is like, you need to fucking hire people. Okay, hire them. And he's like, no, I can do it all by myself. And so they start trying to have a relationship, and she finds him like in his office, not sleeping, working on code, like doing these things. And she's like, I don't think this is a good time for this. He's like, no, we're fine. She goes, no, we're not. Until you can have time for me, I'm not going to start this relationship, no matter how much I like you. And she left. I was like, girl, we love a girl that will stand up for herself and what she needs. Because she had like been so abused by her ex. And like, she's just like, no, I'm not tolerating it. I'm not. And so he was found by his best friend, like strung out because he hadn't slept in like 3 days. And he's like, okay, I do need to hire someone. And so he hired people. He did what he was supposed to. Like, he had this like epiphany moment. Like, I really like this chick and she won't be with me because like I'm too committed to my job. So his best friend's like, let me hire people on. So he hired people on and then he could date her. And it was like the cutest thing. I'm like, one, she stood up for herself. And two, he actually listened and it was like, no, I really want this. Like, this is what I want. I want to be able to be with you. So let me take these actions. Like, it was a healthy, mature relationship. How often do we get that? We never do. And I was like, oh my God. And then there's a second story, and it's about her roommate and his best friend. And I'm going to have to read that because it's like You for New Year's or something like that. It's a New Year's based one. And she's like, hates his best friend. So it's her brother's best friend. Coworker set her up on her or something. And she didn't know who it was. And she like sat down and he shows up and she's like, what in the hell are you doing here? He's like, well, I'm your date. So she's like, I'm leaving. He's like, or you could stay. You know how hard it is to get reservations here? And I know you want to try this place. And she's like, I hate that you're right. So she sat down and they started talking. And I'm just like laughing. Like the tension between those two, beautiful. I'm like, I'm gonna have to read that one because it's just so cute. I really like that it felt more real and like an actual relationship, like adults. They're like going towards 30. Or I think he was like in his 30s. So I was like, this is what real relationships are.
Yeah. And like positive, healthy.
Yes.
You know?
Like, she had gone through so much with her ex. And so she's like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not. And like, that was nice because a lot of time, especially like women, they get written as they just kind of go along with the story, right? Like, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's going to go. So I thought that was really nice. It was really cute. I highly recommend it. I even sent it on my newsletter because I was like, yeah, read this. It's so cute. So my 3 DNFs. The first one was Thanksgiving with my dad's boss. Trying to convince me that a billionaire hottie that's like 6'4", 200 some pounds, like buff as hell, is named Trevor. Not happening. Not happening.
Okay, let's do this. In 3 words, describe why you DNF'd these last few.
So this one, childish. That'd be the biggest one. Childish. Breeding.
Okay.
No. And then just Trevor. No.
That says so much.
Yes. Like, it was so childish. I did after he like took her in, like she ran away from her dad, which was weird. Like, it's like it's also like a 15-year age gap. And you're telling me this guy named Trevor, who's hot as hell, is a virgin? Weird. And he's like 35. No. she's like 19, and he takes her to a hotel in town. And this is where I DNF'd it. She's like, "Oh, hold on," and she's wearing this like short dress in the middle of winter, and then she grabs a snowball and throws it at him, and they're like, he like tackles her in the snow. I'm like, "You're gonna break a hip, okay?" I DNF'd it at that. I was like, "No, that's so childish." He talked about exploding like a volcano, and I was like, "Nope, nope." The next one was Taken on Thanksgiving. I DNF'd after he said, I DNF'd this one so fast. It was like 3 pages in. He was apparently Australian, in prison, getting out of prison. Weird. In America. Didn't make any sense to me. And then he said, it's been 10 years since I stuck my thick cot in a hot cut, and I DNF'd it right there.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll
I said,
do it.
nope. Nope.
I'll
Done with
do
that
it.
one. And the last one was A Contemporary Mythos Thanksgiving. I really wanted to like this one. It was a really short book, but I DNF'd it after about 25% because it was too slow.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "You're too slow." And then her best friend was too whiny.
Fair enough.
I was like, no, not having it, not doing it. So, yeah, I DNF'd those ones very, very fast.
You
But
had
yes,
a wide range of things that you read.
I tried to mix it up a little bit. Oddly enough, I enjoyed the sweeter ones more than anything else. I definitely would say Falling for You was my favorite of this month.
I would say that after listening, that's not odd at all, considering the things that we read.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah.
If you were
Yes,
like,
definitely.
Basted was my favorite, then I'd be like,
No, definitely was not my favorite. No,
yeah,
thank
I only read 2, guys.
I read a lot. I did. I read a lot of November. But
Yeah.
again, a lot of novellas, but yes.
Novellas.
There's a ton of Thanksgiving books. So if you are interested in getting something, it's a long weekend for a lot of us in the US are off. So if you are interested in reading them, we do have a list of some of the ones we were looking at on our Instagram page. So you
Mhm.
can have those as well. Yeah, it's sweet to spicy. So there's some that are really sweet and there's some that are very, very spicy. There's Taken by the Were Turkey on there. So, and all of them are on KU, if I remember correctly. I specifically made it was only KU reads. So easy if you have a KU subscription, you can read them over the weekend. They're all very short. They're all very easy to read. So you'll have to
Mhm.
check them out.
Yeah, have fun with it. That's what
Yeah.
it's we're reiterating that. These are just
Mhm.
fun.
These are just for fun. This is just your reminder to read what you want and don't be a dick. Have a good one, everyone.
Oh,
Yay.
don't do that. I didn't
Don't
mean
do
to do
that.
that.